Have you ever wondered why some people with modest resumes end up running companies, while others with Ivy League MBAs seem stuck in the middle? Is it possible that the most crucial business lessons aren't found in textbooks or lecture halls, but out in the real world, at lunch tables, in negotiations, and during hallway chats? What if the secrets to closing deals, reading people, and making bold decisions are the very things that don't fit into a curriculum? Can a degree teach you how to handle a difficult client, sense an opportunity in a fleeting moment, or bounce back from a setback with even more vigor? If you've ever asked yourself, what am I missing? Maybe it's time to look beyond what's taught and start learning what's lived. So what exactly don't they teach you at Harvard Business School? Beyond the classroom, the real business education. Business schools can teach you how to analyze a balance sheet, structure a marketing plan, and even simulate a negotiation. But what about the unpredictable, unspoken, and often uncomfortable truths that actually determine success? The real world of business is a living, breathing organism, one that rewards those who can adapt quickly, understand people, and make decisions when the playbook runs out. This book opens the door to those hidden lessons, sharing the kind of wisdom that comes not from lectures, but from years of practical experience, observation, and trial and error. It's about mastering the nuances, sensing what's really happening in a room, knowing when to push and when to pull back, and understanding that people, not just numbers, drive every deal. The people factor, your most valuable asset. At the heart of business are people. The ability to understand, motivate, and influence others is often what separates good leaders from great ones. But how do you actually get good at this? The answer isn't found in a formula, but in the art of observation. Pay close attention to how people talk, their body language, the subtle shifts in tone or posture. Is someone nervous, distracted, or hiding something? The best business people are like detectives, reading between the lines, picking up on what isn't said, and adjusting their approach accordingly. Listening is a powerful tool, not just waiting for your turn to speak, but really listening, letting people reveal their goals, fears, and motivations. Sometimes the most important information comes as an aside or a throwaway comment. Those who learn to listen with intention often gain the upper hand in negotiations, sales, and even conflict resolution. Trust and credibility, building the invisible foundation. Trust isn't built with grand gestures. It's earned with consistency, honesty, and reliability. The business world is smaller than it seems. Reputations are built and destroyed over years, sometimes in a single moment. Keeping your word, being transparent about your intentions, and admitting when you don't know something can set you apart. Reputation acts as your unofficial resume. People will talk about you when you're not in the room, and their stories will open or close doors for you. Protect your reputation as fiercely as you protect your business assets. Street smarts versus book smarts. Analysis and theory are valuable, but the world rarely gives you perfect information or ideal circumstances. The ability to make decisions with incomplete data, to take calculated risks, and to pivot quickly when things change is what gives certain leaders their edge. Street smarts are about pragmatism. Sometimes the best deal is the one you don't make. Other times you have to move fast. Trust your gut and accept that you'll be wrong sometimes. What matters is how quickly you recover, learn, and move forward. The power of observation. Learning without being taught. Observation is a kind of silent apprenticeship. Watch how seasoned professionals handle themselves, how they walk into a meeting, how they react under pressure, how they turn small talk into big opportunities. Small details matter. A firm handshake, steady eye contact, and punctuality all send messages before you even say a word. How someone treats the receptionist or the server at lunch can tell you more about their character than hours of conversation. Mastering the art of selling beyond products. Everyone sells ideas, proposals, themselves. The most successful people are those who can position their value in a way that resonates. Selling isn't about pushing, it's about understanding what the other person needs, then showing how you can help. Ask questions, listen to the answers, and tailor your pitch. Be consultative, not confrontational. Sometimes the sale happens not because of your talking points, but because you made the other person feel heard and understood. Negotiation. It's not a battle, it's a conversation. Negotiations aren't about winning and losing, they're about finding common ground. Preparation is key. Know your facts, but also try to understand the other side's pressures and priorities. Be willing to walk away, but also be creative with your solutions. Sometimes the best outcome isn't what you originally envisioned, but something that works for both parties. Flexibility, patience, and emotional intelligence are your best tools at the negotiating table. Persistence and follow-through, the unseen work. The most successful people aren't necessarily the smartest or the most talented. They're often the most persistent. They follow up, show up, and do the work that others avoid. Persistence isn't stubbornness. It's the willingness to keep going when things get tough, to learn from failure, and to adapt your approach. Follow-through builds trust. A simple thank you note, a timely phone call, or a quick update can differentiate you in a world where most people move on too quickly. Networking, the power of relationships. Networking isn't about collecting business cards or LinkedIn connections. It's about building genuine relationships. People do business with those they like and trust. The best networks are built over time by being helpful, staying in touch, and showing up when it matters. Don't be transactional. Offer your help without expecting immediate returns. Over time, these relationships become the source of opportunities, advice, and support you can't buy. Learning from experience, the real MBA. Every encounter, good or bad, is a lesson. The best business people are lifelong learners, always asking, what can I do better next time? They seek feedback, reflect on their failures, and aren't afraid to admit when they don't have all the answers. Formal education is a foundation, but real expertise comes from doing, failing, and trying again. The business world rewards those who are curious, adaptable, and willing to learn from every situation. Decision-making under uncertainty. Rarely will you have all the facts you need. Learn to make decisions with the information you have and be willing to adjust as new information comes in. Don't let the search for perfect information paralyze you. Trust your instincts, but also know your biases. Surround yourself with people who will challenge you, and don't be afraid to ask tough questions. At the end of the day, decisiveness, tempered by humility, wins. Humility and confidence, the balancing act. Confidence gets you in the door. Humility keeps you learning. The best leaders are those who can project assurance while staying open to new ideas and admitting mistakes. Arrogance is a shield, but humility is a bridge. Balance is key. Be confident enough to act, humble enough to listen, and wise enough to know the difference. The unwritten rules. Much of what determines success in business can't be found in any syllabus. It's in the way you handle disappointment, the respect you show others, the risks you take, and the relationships you build. These unwritten rules are passed down from experience to experience, mentor to mentee, and are learned only by living them. So after exploring these unwritten lessons, how will you navigate the hidden corridors of business? Can you spot the opportunities between the lines and turn setbacks into stepping stones? Are you ready to build a reputation that opens doors and relationships that last a lifetime? What will you do differently the next time you walk into a meeting, make a call, or negotiate a deal? If you believe that the real game is played outside the classroom and you're hungry for more insights that textbooks just can't deliver, why not subscribe to BitBooks? What lessons will you uncover next? And how will you turn them into your own competitive advantage? The business world is waiting. The only question is, are you ready to learn what they don't teach you at Harvard Business School?